Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor. Welcome to Monday Magic Intuitive Energy Reading, where I offer you my take on the energies as I am currently experiencing them so that you know that you are not alone should you also be experiencing something similar. And then I will share some guidance on how to move forward through the next week as far as was delivered to me this morning. So, it's a relatively quiet time right now, which is kind of nice. We've had a lot of solar activity lately. The last few days have been pretty quiet, both from a solar weather perspective as well as a Schumann resonance perspective. That's not to say that earlier in the week we didn't have some challenges. In fact, right after doing the Monday Magic Intuitive Energy reading last week, the next day on Tuesday, we had 25 solar flares, which is very unusual. 3, 5, 10 at most is pretty common. 3 to 5 is around normal, I guess you would say. So 25 in one day was a big deal. And we also had high solar winds the entire day as well. So many people were feeling fatigue, tired, exhaustion, moodiness, tension headaches, all sorts of fun solar weather responses. So thank goodness that has calmed down now, which is interesting. We have a new moon tomorrow at 5:31 p.m. Central Time on the 12th here in the United States. So it's nice to have a bit of calm. Lately, there has been some pretty intense energies that come along with these moons. So it's nice to feel that this one's a little bit softer so far. Fingers crossed. But there was some relief sort of starting to come in midweek to maybe sort of towards the end of the week. It certainly was an intense start, so it was nice to have that reprieve. There is a little bit of pressure building today with the new moon tomorrow, but it's not terrible. Sagittarius is a usually pretty jovial sign. I know there's some aspects that potentially could prevent that from being prevent the moon from feeling too jovial. But right now, so far, so good. And there is also an aspect to Chiron, which is kind of nice. I've enjoyed the Chiron aspects that I've had recently in the last couple of years. Lots of insights around healing and ways to break free from limitations, whether subconscious or, traumas in the body, things of that nature. So be on the lookout for that. So my note says it's been easy so far as the last day or two, couple of days, and this moon, what's approaching feels easy from my perspective. And I always want to sort of preface it with, if you are not experiencing the ease, it may be because of something that you are clinging to, or that the universe is asking you to become aware of. So really look at, what are your attachments? What are you clinging to? And ask the question. Remain as king by asking the question. If you look at the etymology of the word asking, it's as-king. You ask that question, what am I being asked to learn right now? What do I need to let go of? This is a very interesting time. Friday especially really felt like a day out of time. Time has seemed very strange lately. It feels like it should still be fall, and yet we're almost at Christmas. Like I said, Friday especially, it was just, my kids and I were joking, it was a bonus day, because it didn't feel like a normal day of any kind. And it does feel like we are in between. I also get the sense of sort of the calm before the storm. And there's guidance to rest and to let go of those attachments and that clinging, so that we can flow with ease and connect to the divine. And when we let go, the burden is lifted. And that was a clear piece of guidance that came through. When we let go, the burden is lifted. So ask yourself, what do you cling to? And we often think that maybe it's a relationship or a job or, these external things, but oftentimes the big shifts come from what we let go of internally. What are you in resistance to? What are you judging? As we know, what we resist persists, but judgment is also a form of resistance. Are you in judgment to your life? Do you have judgments against other people? Do you judge yourself? What do you find yourself saying? I wish it wasn't this way, or it shouldn't be this way, or it should be some other way. Those are the things that will keep us stuck. Those are the things we're clinging to. And I highly, highly recommend Byron Katie's work from the book Loving What Is. I probably will do a video on that this week because it is so important and freeing when you are able to let go of resistance or judgment. This is what causes our suffering, is these things that we hold judgment to. And so what you judge will continue to show up in your life. As long as you're in judgment to it, it will continue to show up. And so freedom is through the surrender to that judgment. And keep an eye out, and likely is a video coming this week on that one. Remember that you are the only thing standing in your way. You ultimately are a sovereign being. You have the ability to know what inside of you is creating that sandpaper feeling, and it's creating some friction, and to be able to let go of that. So I found a couple of quotes that I really, really love this week that I want to share with you. And the first one by Mark Hansen says, desiring a positive experience in and of itself is a negative experience, and the acceptance of a negative experience is a positive experience. So you can see how when we are in resistance to what is, I'm judging it by saying it should or shouldn't be, or I'm calling in a manifestation because I don't like what is, that itself is an emanation of a negative frequency or vibration. We are creating more negativity by being in resistance to or judgment to what currently is. And then the second quote, Aldous Huxley, I'm not sure if I'm going to say that right, but regardless, the quote is amazing. It says, the harder we try with conscious will to do something, the less we shall succeed. Proficiency and results come only to those who have learned the paradoxical art of doing and not doing, otherwise said, combining relaxation with activity. And so there's this delicate balance of learning to reclaim our power, that you think that being powerful means I'm strong and I'm pushing against something and I'm powerful and I puff myself up and make myself seem big. But really, it's a delicate art of surrender with action, that we have to be willing to let go of all the beliefs and let go of all the judgments and all the resistance and fully surrender into and love what is, so that we can open ourselves up to the discernment that Source will provide for us. So we clear our blocks to that discernment. We clear our blocks to our manifestations by trauma healing, following our guidance, cleansing the body, releasing all toxins, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical, and really cultivating intimacy with the divine. And that was such a beautiful message that came through this week in multiple ways, which is very, very fun. But this is not just 20 minutes of meditation every day. This is a constant feedback loop between you and the divine. Constant communication, always be connected, never. And I'm not perfect at it either, but it's a practice to stay in connection with the divine, listening and hearing that guidance all the time, staying in discernment to know, am I in resistance to something that I need to let go of? Am I judging something? Do I need to have more compassion, more understanding, more curiosity towards myself or others or circumstances in the world? Right? I almost didn't even deliver this part of the message because I can't fully explain to you exactly what it means. So we're going to receive it. We're going to know and trust it. And we're going to allow it to present itself as necessary or provide clarity as it comes. But the guidance was, or the message was, that we are in the final hours. And that feels a little daunting to me to even say that. The final hours of what? I cannot tell you. I think some of us have a general sense, but I'm not going to be the one to declare what that means. The other piece was, it is already done. And those two pieces together feel very profound. The energy, and I've mentioned nostalgia a couple times in the last month or two. There's this feeling of the old is gone. And we are in this transitional phase, but the dial turns so slowly. We creep our way there, but it's as if we're in the final hours of this old phase and the new is beginning, which of course is happening in every moment there, but there's something very profound in the very near future. And so the guidance is to prepare, Prepare, do not move the way fear moves you. And I can't remember who said that quote, but it's not mine. But do not move the way fear moves you. Stay in peace, stay in trust, stay in faith, stay in connection. Let go of the resistance, let go of the judgment, love what is. If you haven't subscribed already, do that, because that video is coming this week. There's 4 steps. I'll teach you how to let go of all your resistance and your judgment, how to love what is. But prepare through stillness, through listening, through rest, ease, nurturing, love. Be still and know that I am God. You will have everything you need. This is how we keep oil in our lamp, by staying connected, by listening, and through rest. So be still and know. I love you, my friends.